Two families are outraged and heartbroken over the way a major local hospital handled the infection of 15 patients. Those two families already held funerals for their loved ones. Tonight, they want answers. 7 on Your Side's Drew Smith has been on top of this story since it broke. He joins us now, new at 10.
Amy, those families say the Greenville health system owes them a complete explanation on how a rare bacteria got inside an operating room. They want to know why their loved ones ended up dying after getting infected, and most of all, for the safety of everyone else, they think all healthcare facilities need to know what happened. Two women are feeling lost. Lori Wanaker is now without her husband, Henry, and Alondra Davis is missing her mom, Ella Madison. The story begins for Davis back in September. Her mother went through open heart surgery and eventually came home.
I was doing pretty good.
But it didn't last. Back at GHS in March, Davis says doctors told her her mom had a surgical infection. They tried to treat it until Madison went into hospice care in mid-June. She died 2 days later. And the very next day, Davis watched our story when the news broke about mycobacteria infections.
I literally felt like somebody had punched me in my stomach.
That's similar to what the Wanakers went through. Henry's heart surgery was in late March, and he ended up going home after.
The pacemaker doctor said, "Oh, you're healing nicely on the outside." Little did they know what was festering underneath for 64 days.
But it took more than 2 months before the surgical wound burst open.
Tragic. And I remember him lying there. He wouldn't live through it. And that's what she told him on Father's Day.
Both families now have attorneys.
This was a preventable infection. This is not some super bug that gets past sterilization procedures.
At this point, they haven't filed a lawsuit. They say they want information. What was the piece of equipment suspected to cause the infections? How did the bacteria get on it? We asked for that information too, several times, but GHS won't talk to us about it. They say it would be inappropriate to discuss specifics until the investigation is complete.
When you make a mistake, you own it, and you educate the person who's been hurt by your error, and that hasn't happened here.
Both families worry that without a full explanation, more patients could be at risk. They don't want others to go through their pain.
I feel like somebody dropped the ball somewhere.
A GHS spokeswoman sent us a statement tonight which reads, in part, we can say that all manufacturers' recommendations regarding those pieces of equipment were followed. We believe in doing right by all of our patients, and we will continue to work with them moving forward. It continues, we personally reached out to each of these patients or families in order to share information regarding their conditions, either by face-to-face conversations or phone calls. And we asked about the equipment used, but when GHS didn't answer our questions, our investigation turned to the state health department. We got some new information from a spokesman tonight. He confirms 2 machines are under investigation. Each uses tap water. That's a potential source of the bacteria. We talked with an infection control expert who tells us patients should be aware of any water on instruments or standing water at hospitals. Amy.